Joining me now for more ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky and ABC News legal contributor and law professor at American University, Kim Wehle. Good to see you both. Aaron, you were in the Florida federal courtroom yesterday as the DOJ took on Trump's legal team. Now the judge has ordered the release of this more detailed inventory list of the items seized during that FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. What are we learning about that?
We didn't get a lot of specifics about what the documents were, but we did get an awful lot more detail about where they were found, the breakdown of each of the boxes that were seized from the former president's estate. And you get the impression that there were classified documents commingled with more mundane things like newspaper clippings and magazine articles. There were a number of photographs and documents that did not have classified markings, many thousands of them, in fact. And Kenneth, the Justice Department may not care in some ways whether the documents are classified or not. They're government property, federal prosecutors believe, and Trump, they said, did not have the right to possess them. One other interesting note about this new property inventory, it indicates that there were empty envelopes bearing classified banners. And so you wonder what used to be in those envelopes and where the contents are now.
Yeah, we do wonder that. Kim, still no decision from the judge on whether to appoint a special master. She says she'll decide in due time. There's been talk that she is leaning toward appointing a special master. Before yesterday's hearing, she had indicated that. So what do you make of her taking more time to decide this?
Not much. I think she probably just wants to think through the additional arguments. It sounds like Trump's new lawyer actually appeared in court. His name was not on the prior papers, which were very, very terribly, sloppily drafted. So I think she needs to make sure, probably in this moment, that Donald Trump is getting, as good legal counsel for his position as possible. But I expect this will come out in the next week or something like that. But I also don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Special masters tend to be used in really major cases with a lot of plaintiffs, like if they have to do a ton of mini hearings on the amount of damages for a particular person, or if you're like Michael Cohen raiding a lawyer's office and there's a lot of privileged information. I just don't think there's much of a job for the special master to do here, but I suspect, given how important this is to the country and there's so many people watching this, that she will come up with some kind of compromise to have a second set of eyes on what DOJ has done. It actually might be beneficial to DOJ and in sort of supporting the integrity of the process thus far.
All right, from one Trump-related investigation to another, Aaron, today, former White House counsel Pat Cipolloni and his former deputy Patrick Philbin are expected to testify today before the grand jury investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol. One of our cameras actually caught Cipolloni arriving at the courthouse. What's the latest here?
Pat Cipolloni spent about 2.5, 3 hours before the grand jury there in Washington, Kenneth, and we don't know what he said, of course. Grand juries are kept secret. His deputy, Pat Philbin, arrived just a short time ago for his turn in the spotlight. The grand jury is investigating two things broadly: the effort to overturn the results of the 2020 election and the attack on the Capitol January 6th. Cipolloni, in particular, we know from his interview that was played, at least portions of it, by the January 6th committee, said that he wanted former President Trump to do more to try to stop the violence. And Cipolloni also said that at every turn, he resisted efforts by others to try and do things that would mess with the election results.
Kim, we've heard from Cipolloni, as Aaron just pointed to, in that pre-recorded testimony there to the January 6th committee. What do you think the Justice Department is seeking to get from Cipolloni and from Philbin?
I think the critical issue is whether they're going to try to get communications between Mr. Cipolloni and Donald Trump himself. Cipolloni claimed, I think properly, attorney-client privilege. That is that, as a lawyer, even as the lawyer to the president has protected communications. But, grand jury is a different deal than a House committee, a congressional investigation. President Nixon had to turn over the tapes of communications in the Oval Office to a grand jury, unanimous Supreme Court decision. And Bill Clinton had to testify before a grand jury. So I think this is not good news for Donald Trump.
All right, we will leave it right there. Kim Wehle and Aaron Katersky, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.